Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And it's time to feel good with our friend Lee Grigsby. Welcome back today. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, Jill. Happy Tuesday to you and all of our listeners.
Happy Tuesday, our life coach. And what does it say? Get what? Get it in. Are you a golfer?
No, that's more of a gym.
Oh, all right. Get it in,
Yeah,
get it done. All right. Got it.
that's
Lee,
right.
please say hello. Introduce yourself and your company to everyone.
Would love to. Hey, everybody. My name is Lee Grigsby. I am the founder and health and life coach for LiveAllGood Coaching. You can visit my website at liveallgood.com. You can reach me at liveallgood, the number 44 at gmail.com. You could call or text at 202-455-6104. And please check me out on social media as well. Live All Good Coaching. That's Facebook and Instagram. And you can also find me, Lee Grigsby, on Facebook. Well, I guess we should call it Meta. Is
Yeah,
that right? Since it's not
I
Facebook
know.
now,
I
it's
know. It's
Meta.
confusing, right? Well,
Absolutely.
well, welcome. So what's the one you start off? You say what's the one good thing? How do you say it? Because I can't
You,
say it very
that
well.
I
Well, why
love
don't
it.
you
I
go
love it.
first? Go ahead.
Sure. So we always like to start with what is going well, what's working. And the reason we do that, and I will go first, is because it starts to really train the brain to think positive and to focus on the positive. So that's why we do that. Um, so let's see. This week, it actually, I have to tell you, it's been a bit of a rough week, not for me directly, but got some family members. My niece's oldest has COVID, tested
Mm,
positive. Okay, everybody's doing fine. Everybody's
okay.
okay. Low grade fever, like super low grade fever. So they're all good. But the frustrating part for them as young parents and for the 5-year-old is having to quarantine. You know,
Yeah.
so again, the positive is that everybody's doing fine. But what I want to say is the positive is I have reached a point where we could come up with a plan and I'm able to help them in a way that it, they can miss work without having to worry about it.
Mm,
So I'm thankful and happy that I've reached a point where I could help them financially so that they can go ahead and stay home with the 5-year-old, quarantine, all that kind of stuff. That's the positive. That's the
wow, that
positive.
is so nice.
Yeah,
Wow. And where do they
absolutely.
live, by the way?
They are in Ohio. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Oh my
They're in
goodness.
Ohio. So again, and I know that this, folks may not think of that as a positive, right? But I do want to stress that, yeah, we're all dealing with this virus still, right?
It's getting worse.
Um,
In New York, we're back to masks. Do you know about that?
and I heard about that. I heard
What
about it.
what's happening in your state?
Is well, unfortunately, I'm not in the state. I'm in DC,
Oh yeah.
but
But
but same thing. So they had relaxed some of the things, but they have gone back to that. I will tell you that I'm fully vaccinated. I'm gonna go get a booster shot,
me
but
too.
I wear a mask even in the gym. Because here's the thing, right? And this is for anybody listening. This is not about vaccinated, unvaccinated. We're not. I'm not here to judge people. That is not my goal. My goal is do what you feel is necessary to protect yourself and your family.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've listened to other people who have chosen not to get vaccinated. And that is your right, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone to feel judged for
Mm-hmm.
what their choice is. I just want people to understand, make your choice for what is important and best for you and your family. That's
Got
what you
it.
have to do.
Yeah, here in New York,
Absolutely.
by the way, now as of today, I have a
Mhm.
6-year-old. He's not allowed to be in a restaurant unless he's vaccinated now.
Oof,
That's a little extreme. I'm just going to say
that's
that's for the New York City area. I live on Long Island, but thank God we
mhm,
just had tickets to a show a few days ago, last Thursday, right? In the
mhm.
city. And if it happened to be this week, he wouldn't be able to
You'd
go.
have
Like anyone
mm,
for Broadway shows, restaurants now, even as a
anywhere.
child, you have to be. So
Mm,
that I will not agree with because that's a little too extreme for the children. The adults are one thing, but
mhm.
all right, so that's what's happening. And we're all back to masks,
Absolutely.
which is just,
Ab-
yeah, okay. But I'm actually going to get my son a vaccination. I just haven't done it yet. And I got to get
well, and
my
that's the thing
booster.
too.
But it's
And
like,
that's the thing
wow,
with
within a week, by the way, next week, no one's allowed. But what about people living in the city and their kids aren't vaccinated? It's like, and they
mhm.
have tickets and they have shows and they have events and they have holiday parties and they can't go now. It's just,
And now you're isolating people again. And that was one of
yeah.
the things that they were dealing with, right? With their 5-year-old. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's got to be isolated in the room while
Mm-hmm.
they have a 3-year-old as well. He's in the other room with them,
Mm.
and poor 5-year-old can only, come out to eat or, so, uh, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it 100%.
Got it.
But now it's your turn. What's positive for you?
Okay, mine is not as good as yours. What's positive for me, look, the truth is I got
Sure.
to clean out, and I'm big into cleaning, my spare room. Since I've moved in this house 4.5 months ago, 4.5 years ago,
Mhm.
I still had bins of stuff, which, by the way, I'm also housing Santa's gifts. So it's now old
I w-
bins and
I
old
won't
crap
tell.
from
I won't
moving
tell.
and all the packages and bags. So my
Mhm.
son's father picked up the kids. I had 8 hours and I opened up every present. I hid it. I cleaned the whole room, cleaned all the bins, all the old stuff, threw it away that I didn't need,
Yes.
and washed the bed that I couldn't see because everything's on top of the bed, the comforter, the
Hmm.
pillows. So I had me time, and me time consists of cleaning and organizing, and I feel great. Didn't finish decorating though, but I had to make a sacrifice. But
No, that you know what? You hit the nail on the head on something very, very important, right? So there's an exercise I like to call it clearing the clutter, and we may have mentioned this before,
mm-hmm,
right? But that's so important. If you don't do that, and the physical space that you cleared, how did you feel after you did
great.
that?
Because now I'm like, okay, I can actually have someone sleep in this bed in this room. It's a spare room
Yes. Yes.
and there's stuff all over the bed. It's grown. It was disgusting, but it's all clean now. Everything's even dusted, and it's beautiful. There's a TV in there.
I
It's so
love it.
nice. It's like,
And
okay, I want to sleep in this
and
bed.
and now you can also, so you cleared the physical space, you
Mm-hmm.
visibly and physically felt different, but
Mm-hmm.
mentally that opens space for new things, for new experiences.
And
Yes.
the next unorganized thing in my house, my closets are stacked high.
Oh,
Then the garage.
yes.
Then the garage, I gotta wait till next year. I missed the boat on the garage. It's too cold now. But yeah, and then the decorating I could finish. So I'm good. I feel
I
so much
love it.
better. Wait, and then
So
I
you
have bins in the attic of kids' clothes. I saved all my kids' clothes thinking that okay, I'm going to use them again if I have a kid. Am I really? No. I have bins of clothes size 0 to like 5. And I'm like, gotta clear I can't wait. After the
so
holidays, that's my next big goal.
we have to go over our action step then, Jill. So the action step was to pick out a few things.
I know. I haven't had time to even go back to pick out the few things.
Well, you got to write it down. You got to write down what the things are that you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll get to it. But you said after the holidays. I love it.
Yeah,
Now,
that.
if you hadn't cleared that bedroom,
Mm.
you wouldn't have the capacity to even think, "Oh, what's next?
Yep.
I'm excited. What can I get to next?"
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Oops, hold on. We have a caller. Hi,
Oh,
welcome to the show.
okay.
You're live on the line. Who's this?
Hi, my name is Betty.
Hi, Betty. How you
Hello,
doing?
Betty.
Good. How are you?
Good. Please ask any questions you may have.
Okay. My question is, I've been seeing a therapist for quite some time now. I just wanted to know what is the difference between having a life coach versus a therapist.
Absolutely. And Betty, first of all, thank you for calling. And I want to acknowledge you for actually taking the time to go see a therapist as well. Job well done. Mental health is important. The
Hmm.
difference between a therapist and a coach or a life coach, a lot of times in therapy and therapists, they will deep really go really deep with your past. Okay. They will take as much time as you need in order to sort through your past, uncover things from your past, and see how it relates to what you've been doing in the present. The difference with life coaching is that while we deal with more of where you are right now and into the future, some things may come up from your past while we are going through your present actions and what serves you. So that's really the main difference, right? Um, but I will say this: life coaches and therapists definitely work hand in hand. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
team. So if you're looking for another team member, Betty, reach out, let me know what we can do.
And Betty, if
All
you
right,
don't
thank you
mind
very much.
asking, I mean, you don't have to be too personal, but what in particular are you thinking of talking about? Do you have any personal questions for Lee, or you don't have to get personal, but what is it that you need help with if you want to share?
Um, well, I was just going for like anxiety and stuff like that.
Hmm. Okay. Well, Betty, I would actually love to have a discovery session with you because there are many tools that, as a coach, I could help you learn that would go hand in hand with anything that you learn in therapy as well. You might even find a lot of similar things, and it's just one more reinforcement to help you with that.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, feel free to email or call. It's liveallgood, the number 44 at gmail.com. Or if you want to call or text, it's 202-455-6104.
Perfect.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Betty.
And 631-317-1291 is the line. Let me also ask anxiety. That's something big that you're dealing with today. I mean, so
Mhm.
many of us have anxiety, and let alone this pandemic is so full of
I'm,
anxiety. Yeah.
I'm sure it's starting to ramp up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. I was going to mention this earlier before we started talking about other stuff, but one of the biggest tools, the easiest tool, is to really slow down.
Okay.
To slow down. So a lot of times when anxiety starts to build up, it's from the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's from something that you've gotten into some information,
Mm-hmm.
but now you've kind of gotten into your own head with different scenarios of what could happen,
Okay.
what might
True.
happen. So a really good technique is to slow down so that you can begin to process what is happening
Uh-huh.
and not go too far ahead with what could happen or what might happen. And I
Okay.
know
Might
it
could have. Yep.
sounds,
Okay.
yeah, it sounds simple, but a
But
lot of us don't slow down. We will continue to look for information to try to calm our minds down. But the deeper you go down the rabbit hole, the more information you
oh
find
yeah.
that makes you more anxious.
Oh yeah. For sure. You got me thinking. All right. So before I forgot what we were talking about exactly before the caller called in about anxiety.
um,
You got me
y-
anxious.
yeah, no, I lost the train of thought too.
All right,
I
good.
don't know, but here we go. So right, we're
Clearing
talking
mind,
about
clearing
anxiety.
space. We were
That's oh yeah,
talking.
we were talking about how that affects you mentally.
Okay.
Um, but you know what? I'd like to go down this road with slowing down
Okay.
because it's different aspects. You can
Mm-hmm.
so physically when you're talking about slowing down for anyone who has been in the gym, right? And you start to really slow down to control the movement. That's when you're actually getting the best benefit. If you
Okay.
see people, flying through an exercise, okay, it might work a little bit, but slowing down gives you a great benefit.
Okay.
Same thing when we're talking about eating, right?
Okay.
Slowing
Yeah.
down, using your senses, tasting the food, really like using your sense of smell. What are those smells you get? If you don't slow down to do that, you won't enjoy the food or then be an optimal digestion.
And you'll overeat.
That and there you go, and you won't overeat.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you talk about mentally, right? Even though I mentioned it again, I'll say it or mentioned it before, I'll say it again. When you're talking about anxiety, you can get so deeply wrapped up in your own thoughts and so deeply wrapped up in everything you're reading, everything you're seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
it is difficult sometimes to pull yourself back and kind of take a time out so that you can process, wait a minute, how do I feel about the present moment? If the present moment is going well, the present moment is okay and stable, you don't want to project what you think is going to happen or what might happen. That's the future. So you don't have to be anxious about it because that has not happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay in the present, slow down. Don't go 3, 4 steps ahead just yet. Take care of the present because it's the present that builds the future. Okay.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So you take care of your thoughts, and self-care also comes along with anxiety too. So if it's there's one scent I think that goes along with it's oh, I forget the scent, but it helps calm you down.
Lavender.
That's it.
My peppermint. No, lavender. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lavender, yes. So there are folks who use essential oils, right? With the vaporizers and that kind of thing. It puts it into the misters. That might help calm your anxiety down. There are breathing techniques. There's
Mhm.
one that I work with people on, call it a 5-5-7, right? Where you breathe in for 5 seconds, you hold it for 5 seconds, then you exhale for 7. So that's kind of a deep breathing technique, like through your gut, right? Not in your chest. So I'll show you real quick. I know
I'm
we're on
doing
video
it.
at the moment,
I'm
but yeah, yeah.
doing it.
So when you breathe through your chest, what happens is you breathe in your chest, but your shoulders get tight, right? You raise everything. When you breathe deeply through your belly, it's a bigger expansion, but less stress on your upper body.
Okay.
So take a 5 second breath, hold it for 5 seconds, and then breathe out for 7, because those extra seconds helps to dissipate any extra stress. That is a physiological thing that actually happens. So you can de-stress yourself in 2 minutes by
Okay.
doing this exercise.
I'm having trouble with the
Yeah.
exhaling for 7 seconds. I'm like, I got a breath.
It takes a moment to go through it. You it's more of a controlled exhale, because I remember the first time I tried it, you almost kind of like pass out. You're like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah, you got to really
Because you're
think
trying
about
to,
it. Yep.
yeah. But thank you. You are you sure you're not part of my coaching team?
We have another call coming in. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. Sure.
Hello. Welcome to the show. You're live on the line with Lee Grigsby. Who's this?
Hi, this is James Jules.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Hey,
Good,
James.
Jill's good. Lee's here. Talk to me.
Yeah. So basically, like I've gained a decent amount of weight during COVID. I've been barely eating. I find like I've been going to the gym, do everything I can, but I find it difficult to regulate the healthy eating lifestyle and how to normalize a healthy diet. Like, what would be your best advice to do that?
Man, James, you know what? Well, James, join the club because I understand that. I've done that too. First, I want to offer you that I would love to have a discovery session with you and dive into this further to see how we can work together. But to answer your question right now as well, I would say let's come up with a plan of, are you eating when you're bored? Are you eating when you're distracted? Are you, or do you find yourself walking in the kitchen like, oh man, you know what? Now what do I want to do? You know, that's one thing that you can become aware of, right? Another thing that I want you to be aware of, James, is what's your water intake like?
I take about 1 bottle a day. I don't drink that much water. I know a lot of people have told me I should drink at least a gallon a day, but like it's really hard to keep up with 1 gallon a day.
Well, James, I'm gonna give you a super secret ninja tip right now. Right now. You ready? You ready for it?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, man. Well, you know what? Don't worry about drinking a gallon. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to, when you wake up, try to drink an 8-ounce glass of water when you wake up. Then later on through the day, like maybe, right before lunch, go ahead and drink another 8-ounce glass of water. Okay.
Yeah.
Then maybe as you're going through your day and you want a snack, right? You're
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm gonna reach for, maybe a handful of chips, or maybe a little bag, something like that. I want you to drink another 8-ounce glass of water. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's already 3 times you'll have had a glass of water. So then let's move through your day again, right? You get into the afternoon, late afternoon, you reaching for that another snack. Okay, maybe this time you go ahead and grab a candy bar, right? And I'm not saying you are. I'm just, for
Yeah.
example, you grab a candy bar. Guess what I want you to do? Have a
Drink
glass of
another
water.
glass of water.
That's right. That's right. Have another glass of water, right? So now let's move into the evening. You're getting ready for dinner. Guess what I want you to do?
Eat dinner and then get another glass of water.
My man, James, you see, that's the way, man. You don't want to have to carry around if that's not going to work for you, carrying around a gallon jug, then don't do it. But if you start sneaking in those little glasses of water throughout the day, you will have drank more water than you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so also, man, I want you to think about this. The next time you think you're hungry, actually drink water because you're probably a little bit more dehydrated
Dehydrated, yeah.
and your body wants the water, but you can confuse it for being hungry.
I see what you mean.
Does that make sense, man?
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. I'm gonna start it this week.
Man,
Tomorrow,
James.
honestly.
Yes, tomorrow. No, why wait? Why wait? Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
Because I want
Hey,
to get those abs by the summer, you know?
Well, oh, you want to? Oh, hey, James, man, you know what? I would love to have a discovery session with you. So you can email me at liveallgood, the number 44 at gmail.com, or please
Okay.
text or call at 202-455-6104. I would love to work
Okay.
with you and see how I could support you in this, man.
All right, awesome. Wait, so liveallgood at
The num-
gmail.com?
liveallgood, the number 44 at gmail.com.
Liveallgood
44.
liveallgood44 at gmail.com. And the number is?
The number is 202 455
Okay.
6104.
6104. All right. Thank you. I'm going to send you an email and look forward to working with you.
Awesome, man. Great to talk to you, James. Thanks for calling.
Well, thank you. Well, have a nice day, guys.
Thank
You
you.
too.
You too.
You too.
631-317-1291 if you have any questions. And again, I forgot where we left off, but I can tell you this. I got my water.
I just took a sip too.
You're making me, he should tape his, go around the house and put little water bottles, tape it next to all the snacks, any food that he eats during the day, put the water, tape it.
Absolutely, man.
But it
you
makes
have
you
to
full. It's also
and
like
you
a trick.
set the condition, right? You
Yeah.
set the condition for inevitable success, not just success, inevitable success. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the way you do it. Wow, that was awesome. I'm glad he called in. He sounded excited to try something different.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of that.
And especially around this time of year, we're all eating more. So
Yeah, I know that feeling, man. So
it starts with
absolutely.
Thanksgiving, and it's been, I've already gained a few pounds and I just can't help it. It's downhill. It's like that one weekend you just start
completely.
But I'm like, oh, I'll be better, and come the new year. But anyway, enough about me. So
That's why you got to start now. Don't wait
know.
till the new year.
I
That's
know.
it.
I'm more of a bulker upper for the winter, and then I unbulk.
Nice.
No, but I'm just genetically naturally lucky. I don't gain that much weight, period. I'll gain 10 pounds maybe during the winter, if that, maybe 5. But
I call it bulking too. Yeah. So that's why I have to go to the gym. Yeah.
That's why your shirt says what? Get
it in.
Get
it
in.
in.
Gotta
go to the gym.
All right. So what else do we have on store for us?
You know what? I say we tap into mindset a little bit,
Sure.
right? Since we had to call with James,
Mm-hmm.
That is a big deal. He wanted to find the difference of, he's like, man, I listen to people. Everybody tells me I should drink a gallon of water, right? There's a ton of information everywhere. But the one thing that people, I think, get lost with is, where do I start and what works best for me?
Mm-hmm.
So that is where a coach like myself can come in. And what we want to do is we sift through all that information for you and then help you build a plan that is specific to you
Mm-hmm.
and your goals. So that's what mindset is about. He sounded like he's ready to do something, right? But didn't know where to start, didn't know what to do. And he's like, yeah, I can't drink a gallon of water. Yeah, well, guess what? Neither can I.
Yeah.
But if you do it throughout the day, guess what? You drink a gallon of water, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know that, if you don't have somebody say, hey, try this, right? This is what works for me. You might have some people, there are people who take the gallon of water around with them,
Yeah.
and that works for them.
You see the line on it going down.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
right.
He's in a
And that
friend in
works.
college that did it. I'm like, and he was like into like the gym and working out. He'd bring his food. He'd bring 2 gallons, 2 jugs, and I'm like, all, but he looked good, so I guess it worked.
And that worked for him. That worked for him. Absolutely. I saw a guy at the gym the other day. Same thing. Gallon
Mhm.
jug, so yeah, but you got to find what works for you. We just mentioned? Inevitable success. You got to set those conditions. If you know what, everybody wants to eat. How do you eat a whole elephant, Jill? How do you do that?
I don't know. Is this a trick? I don't know
Nope.
this answer.
No,
No. Okay.
no trick to it. No trick to it.
Okay.
How do you eat a whole elephant?
Cut it up in pieces?
Yes. One
No.
bite at a time.
Oh, okay.
One
I'm
bite
like,
at a
this is a
time.
trick. It's a joke. I'm bad at jokes.
Nope.
I'm like,
No, not a joke. Not a joke. So if you try to eat the whole elephant in one bite,
no,
is that going to work?
no, of course not.
And folks, we're not
Mhm.
really eating elephants. I promise.
Mhm.
We're
Okay. Yep,
no
yep.
no real elephants were harmed in this process.
Mhm.
But that's the point. If you want to eat the whole elephant, you gotta have it in bite-sized pieces.
Okay.
And then before you know it, whole elephant is gone. You know?
Mhm. You're right.
But you cannot take one
It's
big
like
bite.
baby
Yeah,
steps, baby steps. Okay.
absolutely. So
Baby bites, baby
again,
bites.
going back to your example, right? Your example was awesome because you've got a chunk of time, but you were able to clear out
Yeah.
and dust and clean, right?
Oh,
That was that one baby. I love it. Look how you felt. The energy that comes from that, right? The energy that comes from that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how do you keep that going? How do you raise that frequency
I gotta
and have
keep
that more and more?
I do.
Yeah. And that's what happens, right? Like that's what gets you into that frame of mind. Like, oh yes, I feel good now. I've accomplished something. I've done
Mhm.
this. Not only a physical space, but now mentally, you're so much more available
You're
to have
right.
fun with your kids,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
whatever they're going to do, whatever the holiday brings. You won't be preoccupied with,
No.
I wish I could clean that room.
No.
So,
No.
so that, maybe the kids want to have a sleepover. I don't know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now there's
There's an
space
extra
for it.
room. Or my cousins on Christmas, they may want to sleep over from. Yeah. So that's
There you
nice.
go.
Now it's clean. I don't
Yeah.
have to feel pressure to say no because I'm like the room's a
You're like,
mess.
well, maybe you can stay down the street. They're renting a room. No, see, now they can stay.
Yeah.
But think of the energy that comes with it, right? There's no negative energy that
Feels
comes with
good.
that.
Feels good.
Absolutely. One step at a time. That's all it takes. One step at a time. Absolutely.
And when you work with someone, tell us the process, tell us how it works, how long of a program. Give us some of the basics if you don't mind. I may know a little
Sure.
bit. Okay.
No, absolutely. And I will definitely share since we've had a few callers today too. So typically, you guys may have heard me inviting them to a discovery call.
Yeah.
So that's how we start. We start with a discovery session to really go into the service a little bit, take a closer look at what you want to achieve, at some of your goals, how you want to get there. Once we do that, we sign up for what is typically a 90-day program.
Uh-huh.
Through that 90-day program, we start working on the things that will serve you in getting to the results of your goal.
Okay.
A lot of it is built around awareness and the actions that serve or do not serve that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And we start uncovering, okay, how can we
Piece by piece. Yep.
do the actions that serve it more frequently? That's
Mhm.
how that works. And so then after 90 days, you have gotten some results from reaching your goals. But typically, what happens is along that process, you start finding out, oh, wait, I want to do this,
Yeah.
or I can apply it to another goal. You start
And
finding
then
out new things, and we go ahead and sign up again and we keep working together. That's how it works. And then before you know it, you're like, oh, Lee, I don't need you anymore. And I'm like, well, no, you need me. I'm
yeah. But yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, you
kidding.
gotta
Yeah.
make them be
Yeah.
independent, to become butterflies on their own, to grow and to fly away in a sense. But
Absolutely. Absolutely.
um,
That is the goal.
and just what do you love most about your work?
Oh my gosh. Jill, you know what?
Mhm.
You actually heard it today. When I hear the excitement
Mhm.
from someone I work with, when they have not just achieved even a small step, right?
Mhm.
But they've recognized it and acknowledged themselves for it. Like I will be your biggest cheerleader all the time, all the time. That is the most fulfilling thing, being able to serve like my fellow humans in a way that helps them, not just, oh, here's a book, read this, or yeah, you know what, I did this,
Yeah.
this will work for you too. It's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
It really is, like I can't put it into words, but it is really amazing when people start to put themselves first and realize that that's a good thing. Wow, it's that's super fulfilling. Absolutely.
And it feels good.
Absolutely,
Feels
man.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Maybe have a new theme song. All right.
nice,
It's
nice.
possible. All right. So, in closing today, let me give you the platform.
Hmm.
Any advice for us? Are we speaking next week?
Any advice? I'm sorry. Say that one
Are
more
we
time.
are we
I
are we
didn't.
on next week
Oh,
talking
yes,
as well? Oh, okay, okay.
yes, we are.
So
Yes, we are.
anything you want to point, let's sum up today's conversation. Let's inspire people today as you
Sure,
do. What do you want to
sure.
end with? And then if you want to give us a,
A
maybe
little teaser. A
like you
little
told us,
teaser.
like, well, to be more aware of, like, remember we talked, was that last week? I don't
That
remember.
was a couple. I do remember that.
But
Yeah,
we
that
tell you
was
about being aware of how our thoughts, and we're thinking about how people, like, all men drive this way. So like
absolutely. That
that's a
was last
tidbit.
week.
Yeah, was it?
Sure.
See,
Yeah,
and I
that
totally
was.
forgot, and we didn't even talk about it. But
That
oh my
was.
gosh. So, okay, what else should we be more conscious of this week?
So you know what? I think let's put a bow on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was awesome for the callers to really call in and try to figure out what the difference was between therapy and coaching.
Mm-hmm.
They go hand in hand. But the one thing I want people to come away with and work on for next week is slowing down.
Okay.
Really is slowing down, right? Again, we talked about mentally, physically, emotionally. Slow down and process what's going on.
Okay.
Because if you don't take the time to process it, you're just going to keep piling on.
All
And
right.
before you know it, you burn out. So slow down and let me know how slowing down works for you next week.
Or what is it? Is the song "Cool It Now" or "Slow It Down"? Make me think of all songs. All right, we'll do that. Now,
I
remind
love
us
it.
how
New
we can get in
edition.
touch with you. Lee, give us all forms of contact, please.
Absolutely. You can always start with heading to my site, liveallgood.com. You can reach out to me through email, liveallgood, the number 44 at gmail.com. You can call, you can text at 202-455-6104. You can definitely find me on social media. I know we said Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Live
All
All Good
meta.
Coaching. Yeah, right. Or you can find me at Lee Grigsby on Facebook.
Are you on
Absolutely.
Twitter, or is Twitter out of a date? Like,
I
I'm on
am on
Twitter, but I
Twitter, but
barely use it. I mean,
not
I
so
use
much
it,
for
but I don't even
coaching.
see. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I just like post all three places. I'm like done. All right. Anyway, Lee
You
Grigsby,
you
you're
yeah.
the best.
I was say, you know what I do on Twitter? I actually tweet the city about what they don't do here in DC. So
Got it. Thank you, Lee. Have a great day.
you too, Jill. Always a pleasure.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.